For Portland Thorns FC, Kendra addressed that moments ago with Alex Morgan.
3 really important home games for you guys before you head out on a pretty big road trip. What do you guys need to do to get some wins?
Well, this is important for us to get these wins at home, especially because we have the fans behind us. Chicago is going to come out hard because they know it's a must-win for them. And for us, I mean, we want to finish off this season in first place so we can host with this amazing atmosphere in Portland. So for us, it's about coming out hard and not letting them in the game at all.
Well, we talk so much about the amazing crowd here in Portland, but how much do you think that the opponent actually feeds off that energy as well?
Honestly, I've talked to some of the girls who have played here before, some of the opponents, and they love it. They love coming here. They love seeing this atmosphere, just this crowd here for women's soccer, supporting us, embracing the game that we play on the field. So I think it's great for the other team as well, but we definitely should have the advantage, and I think we do definitely, but I think that we really need to feed off of our fans, and I think we will today.
It is Morgan, Canadian international, Christine Sinclair, Tobin Heath that lead the talented Portland Thorns against Chicago. First kick next.
Why are these people surprised? They just found out they were secretly tasting Sam Adams Boston Lager.
It's got a good color. It's got a good hoppy smell to it. It's got a good body. It's very smooth. I like that. Smooth, but it does have flavor.
You're drinking Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Oh, really? You definitely got me. It's consistent. It's nice. It's damn good beer. I could drink a couple of these. I obviously was selling myself short by not even considering this as a possibility.
Man is a determined creature. There's an inherent calling to seek, push, transcend. It's a necessity of the human spirit that inspired our own evolution. Because if your quest is to build the world's smartest luxury SUV for mankind, you must hold yourself to the standard of mankind.
How do we make new Hot Pocket sandwiches even tastier?
With the starting 11 for the Chicago Red Stars, as put out by their manager, Rory Dames. Kendra.
Well, we talked about Kolupny. She is really the motor for this team, but you also have to keep an eye on Kwan. I loved her in college. She played for Stanford. She gets forward out of the back.
For Portland, Cindy Parlow-Cone, age 35, puts out this starting 11.
And a little bit of a change here. Foxhoven getting the start instead of Weimer. We know that Sinclair and Morgan attract a lot of attention, so Shim, keep an eye on her. She's been scoring a lot of goals lately and keeping this Portland team on the winning side.
And we're underway at Jeld-Wen in Portland. Carrie Seitz is the referee in charge today. The Thorns in red as Allie Long, in a much bigger role lately with the injury to Becky Edwards, plays this back. The goalkeeper for Portland Thorns, the Canadian national Karina LeBlanc, and she's been one of the best in NWSL.
One of the best and maybe the MVP of this team. I've heard that her energy and enthusiasm and leadership coming out of the back has just been phenomenal this season.
Born in Atlanta, moved to British Columbia as a child, thus the link to the Canadian national team. This is Kolupny on the move early for Chicago, and that shot blocked away. The Red Stars, a victory today would move Chicago within 2 points of the Western New York Flash for the 4th and final NWSL playoff berth. There's an air of desperation as they arrive here this afternoon.
And coming off a really tough loss on Thursday, that 4-1 loss, they've struggled to find a way to score some goals and also giving up a lot of goals. Right away, you see already the Red Stars on the offensive.
Lydia Vandenberg into the starting lineup today for Michelle Wenino with the throw-in for Chicago. Challenging trip to the Pacific Northwest. It began with that 4-1 defeat that you alluded to at Starfire Stadium just a few days ago. Obviously, they did not go back to the Midwest, stayed on the West Coast, and looking to right the ship here today just 3 days later.
Well, I think staying on the West Coast is absolutely the right thing to do. You just never know with travel and weather and everything else. So I'm sure it was nice for them just to stay here on the West Coast and get their legs back under them.
Just a glorious day here in Portland. The challenge by Mana Shim, number 6 in the midfield for Portland, but this drops for Chicago. Rachel Bueller out of the back for Portland Thorns. And ball over the head of Daniela Foxhoven. Possession here for Chicago. Got the sense, Kendra, in the last few weeks that Portland now is starting to live up to the billing that we heard about prior to the season. Some of their best games have been in the last 2 weeks.
Well, the last 2 weeks, and let's take note, that's when Tobin Heath has been with this club, as we see her all the way in the middle of the field trying to defend that ball. She is back with this club, obviously was playing overseas and took a little time off to rejuvenate. She told me yesterday that, you know, mentally and physically, she feels like she's ready. She can go 90 minutes, and she's probably a huge part of the reason of why they started to click the last 2 weeks.
Erin McLeod clears that away, the Chicago goalkeeper. Opening moments in Portland. This is Rachel Kwan. Adriana Leon, far side for Chicago. Has it taken away. Quick transition. Christine Sinclair plays this ahead. Tobin Heath battling. Morgan plays it out wide. This is off Chicago. Possession here for Portland. Or did we have the foul call just outside the 18?
I think she may have called it back to that original foul. Looked like the referee maybe have let it play on and then called it back, and a dangerous dead ball here up on the left side of the box. We know what Sinclair can do in the air. You can find her. She's key, but we'll see if this one goes on frame.
Tobin Heath, Marion Doherty, the two options here. Doherty, the 28-year-old defender, and she'll strike, and didn't miss by much. A rocket over the crossbar that sent Eric McLeod diving.
Didn't miss by much. You could tell she was going for that upper 90 on the left side, trying to kind of bend it around and get that one to fall, which is unusual. Sometimes we see a marking back take a dead ball and it sails over the goal, but she did a great job staying over it. And you're right, didn't miss by much.
Doherty's a player who debuted for the U.S. women's national team several years ago out of Santa Clara. Pumped ahead by Chicago. Ella Masser on the run. It's a hard collision with the goalkeeper, LeBlanc.
And that's what you're going to get from Ella Masser. She is solid. I mean, look at her legs. She's going to go in aggressive. She's going to play up top. She's going to be feisty up there. Also getting the start today, kind of a rarity for her. She's not afraid to go into a collision with the goalkeeper.
From the University of Illinois, and she's back on U.S. soil. Played for Paris Saint-Germain last year in France. This is played across. Foxhoven went up for it and just missed. So the two early chances in the match for Portland. This deflects high off Tobin Heath, and Chicago will take possession. A team that's far from full strength if you're getting your first look at them today. They've dealt with some very serious injuries. Shannon Box, the most obvious, played 2 games, and we're not sure if she'll be back before the season is over. Amy LaPelbet out for the year with an ACL tear.
And she was out before the season even began, so they definitely were dealt some tough blows early on, and they're just trying to make their way.
Foxhoven. Doherty. This goes to Mana Shim, the edge of the 18. Opts to play it back. Nikki Marshall. Marshall, pretty impressive run, and earns the first corner of the match. Rory Dames, manager of the Red Stars in 2011 in the WPS, lost the final. He is a Chicago native in charge of the hometown team. He says his team has been brought back to respectability after just an awful start to the year, winless in their first 6 games. Heath keeps the corner low. It goes to Alex Morgan. This is still loose in the 18, and unable to work it away completely is Chicago. Doherty out wide. In traffic control by Erin McLeod. Rachel Bueller with service from the near side. At midfield, Lydia Vandenberg plays this back. Jacqueline Santa Catarina. Defender for Chicago, back from McLeod. Adriana Leon trying to pick up Kolupny in traffic and taken away by Portland.
I like that idea, though, of the second ball over the top to try to free Kolupny and get her inside that 18. She's dangerous in there.
Nikki Marshall on the move, such a versatile defender, and now Heath. Flicked ahead. This is Christine Sinclair. Canadian World Cup veteran, Drac Heath. Service of the 18. And well played by Allie Long in the midfield to keep this alive. Doherty from long range, and again displaying that strong right foot.
She didn't even hesitate. She knows that up top, Sinclair, Morgan, Heath, they're going to be attracting a lot of attention. So if nobody's going to step to her, she's going to take that shot from well outside the 18.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist Cindy Parlow-Cone is the head coach of Portland. 3 NCAA titles with North Carolina, and so excited for this chance at NWSL when we spoke with her this week.
So excited about it. It was tough to leave. I mean, she'd been at North Carolina now as an assistant for quite a few years. You can imagine how much she loves that place, really calling it home. But she loves the challenge of this Portland team.
Heath plays it ahead, looking for Shim. One of the go-to players for Portland in recent weeks, Meliana, or as her teammates call her, Mana Shim. Really has scored 2 of the most important goals that Portland's produced so far this year, including the game winner the last time out.
And last week, a tough win on the road in Boston, and she got the goal.
Played up the right flank for the on-rushing Jen Hoy, the Princeton forward. This will come back the other way, and possession for Portland. Kicking off a 3-match homestand here tonight, and needing to make the most of this stretch because they do finish with 3 on the road.
And unfortunately for them, they actually don't have a great record at home, so they're going to have to try to find a way. This one against Chicago in the next 2 weeks against the top 2 teams in Sky Blue FC and Kansas City to get some W's before they head on that road trip.
One of your questions to Alex Morgan really cut to the chase. As wonderful as this setting is, it's inspiration for the visiting side too, as Hoy is closed down. Good defensive play by Kat Williamson, but it's a corner for Chicago.
Probably the most dangerous opportunity that Chicago has had thus far, getting it inside here for this corner kick. And again, a ball played end line. I love the aggressiveness. I love it when you take it end line because you know good things are going to happen. You're either going to get a corner or you're going to serve it in.
Julianne Sitch. First corner of the match for the Chicago Red Stars. Able to curl this in. That's punched away by LeBlanc. Still alive, top of the 18. Kwan couldn't play it cleanly, and trying to clear it away is Shim. And with some help, Portland out of the woods here.
With some help, an offside call. Looked like somebody came from the offside position back to receive the ball. I'm going to go back to that corner kick for a minute in the sense that I'm not sure I like Kolupny playing the short corner. If I'm the Red Stars, I want her in the mix for either that ball that comes bouncing back out or even in the mix to get a head on. I mean, she's so solid and has such a great body inside there. I wouldn't play her and keep her on that short corner.
A reminder, NWSLsoccer.com provides fans with the latest news, scores, and information on all your favorite players and clubs. Visit NWSLsoccer.com today. Sinclair on the attack for Portland as this goes harmlessly to Erin McLeod. Goalkeeper for Chicago, age 30, bronze medalist with the Canadian Olympic team back in 2012. Heath. Nikki Marshall out wide for Portland. Freddie Long back for Bueller. You see all the offensive firepower on Portland, but one of the strengths of this team, and maybe most important, is the way that back four has performed consistently from the very start of the year.
Well, and you really have to give Rachel Bueller a lot of credit for that, but no big surprise. Every team she plays on, she is a leader. She's vocal. She steps up, leads by example, and that's probably part of the reason that Kat Williamson is having the season that she's having as a rookie.
Cindy Parlow-Cone talked about Kat Williamson, the 8th overall pick in the draft, just glowing about her contribution. The only player to be on the field every minute so far this year. 13th minute, we're scoreless in Portland. Masser plays this back. Hoy lost her balance and taken away by Williamson. Danielle Foxhoven. Tobin Heath now right side as they mix it up. Threads the needle. Sinclair. Kolupny gets the engine going, but a hard foul from behind by Tobin Heath.
Kolupny on the turf is something you see a lot because teams know they have to go after and they have to foul her hard to take her down. It doesn't happen often, but you can see Heath clearly clipping her from behind with no chance at the ball.
Worthy of a yellow card, Kendra?
I think that's a yellow. I mean, if you're tackling somebody from behind and you get none of the ball, absolutely, I think that's a yellow. And Kolupny was really off to the races on that one, and she is still down on the field, and now we see on the field here a yellow for Tobin Heath.
Carrie Seitz, the referee, sorted out the situation with the player down, and then the yellow card for Heath.
And hopefully Kolupny is okay because they need her in the middle of the field.
Kolupny, not long ago, a staple for the United States women's national team. Now, there were concussion issues that got in the way of her service to the U.S. Those have not come to the forefront with her club team here. Here's the foul again.
And you can see her really wincing as the trainer is pressing on that ankle after we see her getting taken down once again. And she is not putting any pressure on that ankle right now. And you know, it could be a high ankle sprain. It was clearly something that's even tender to the touch. And that is a big loss for Chicago. And I guarantee Coach Rory Dames knows it, and so do her teammates. They're going to have to really pick up some slack here.
Kolupny is the team's leading goal scorer with 5. She has 2 assists on the year as well. Back from Sweden to play in the United States this year, and this is a slow march off the field, and Chicago perhaps has lost its most dynamic player for the rest of the day. I believe they have.
Well, and I was talking to someone about this team and what they've been capable of doing, and she does not come off the field. She does not go down injured. This is just not a player that's going to take a knock and leave the game. So you know that she's really fighting with something right now with that ankle.
Free kick, 10 on the field for Chicago. Sonja Fuss, the German defender. Into the 18 and cleared away. Drops for Kwan. Masser couldn't control, and Portland starts up with Nikki Marshall on the run. Too strong out of the back. As they tend to Kolupny, they're busy on the sideline as well for Chicago.
She's still not putting any pressure on it. They've left her at midfield like she's going to try to go back in the game or something, and coach is going to talk to her, but I don't know. She's still not putting any pressure on it.
Long plays this back. Rachel Bueller. Doherty.
And this is where you see with Portland, see how far Tobin Heath pinches in. She doesn't only switch sides of the field, she pinches way in, giving the freedom for that outside back to go forward, but something that Coach Cindy Parlow-Cone said they are not doing enough. Those backs need to be getting forward. She shows them every day in film. She talks to them every game about it. they need to make those runs.
Deceptive was the word the coach used. Maybe the most deceptive player in this league right now. Williamson out of the back. Santa Catarina tries to start Chicago the other way. Instead, Foxhoven plays it back, and it's pumped ahead by Portland. And a foul call that's against Santa Catarina. Well, check that, Sonia Foose, the guilty party. And now the substitution is coming. Kolupny thought about it, but she is done. And for Chicago, midfielder Alyssa Motts checks into the match much earlier than anticipated.
I think Coach Rory Dames could see right from the beginning that Kolupny was just not going to be able to go. And she is in pain on that bench on the sideline, but more than anything, I'm sure she's frustrated with the fact that she has to leave this game so early.
It's been a list of their most elite players unavailable at this stage of the season. We talked about Shannon Box, just 2 games. And her return for the rest of the year is questionable, and to lose Kolupny at a time you really need her most. Again, Chicago still in striking distance of a playoff berth, but needing to kind of run the table in these final 6 weeks.
Well, we haven't even mentioned Hemmings or Bywaters yet. I mean, other key injuries for this Chicago team.
Here's Heath. Alex Morgan keeps this alive.
Great switch field there. She didn't have an option in the middle. She knew it, and she switched the field.
Williamson using the length of the field. Tried to beat 3 defenders, knocked away by Messer, and clear. On the move, left side, Jen Hoy taking on Bueller one-on-one. And the call goes against Chicago. Portland will have it. Jen Hoy is out of Princeton, Ivy League Player of the Year last year. Chicago Red Stars take on Megan Rapinoe and Seattle Reign FC on Saturday, August 3rd at 7 p.m. at Benedictine University Sports Complex. Get your tickets today by visiting ChicagoRedStars.com. Rapinoe had 2 in the last meeting against Chicago just a few days ago. What a turnaround for that team, but will they run out of time?
It's going to be tough to say. The whole top 5-6 teams really coming down to the wire here. It should be an interesting race as we wrap up with the last 5 or 6 games of the season. It's one of those things where you think you have so much time, and then before you know it, the season's winding down.
Morgan curls one off the side of goal, testing Erin McLeod. 3rd shot of the match for Portland.
Morgan again knows that she needs to finish those opportunities. She expects more of herself than what she's been able to give.
That play was a microcosm of what's plagued Portland to this point. Leon far side, but sees it taken away. Morgan leads NWSL in shots, has 7 goals, 3 behind the league leaders, but even she admits that's been the part of her game she needs to make better.
And just on target, and we talked to Coach about that last week. She said not just finishing, but being composed, focus, and finish. Those were her 3 words in the box. Take advantage. They're creating opportunities. They're just not putting them away.
Remarkable year for the United States women's national team. Alex Morgan had, as Parlo looks on. 28 goals, 21 assists. Joining Mia Hamm as the only 2020 players in a single season for the U.S. women. Near side, Doherty. That's a good ball. Morgan is on it. Deep throw in for Portland. Foxhoven near side. Tobin Heath just loses possession, and Chicago takes it away. Action on this weekend in NWSL began yesterday. The Breakers defeating the Washington Spirit by the final score of 5-2. 5 different players found the back of the net for Boston. 2 games today. This one you're watching on Fox, and FC Kansas City and Sky Blue FC. If Portland wins and that game ends in a draw, Portland goes to the first place spot in NWSL, and a foul is called against Chicago and Sitch. Heath quickly played in. Sinclair, yes! Christine Sinclair. It's been a long time coming for the Canadian international. She gives Portland the 1-0 lead here.
And Chicago looks completely confused by that quick restart. A couple players running up to the referee saying, wait a minute, we weren't ready. We're waiting for the whistle. And you can see the look on McLeod's face. She is not happy about that effort by her back line and her midfield. They are still arguing about it, but what a cheeky little play by Portland to get on the board with Tobin Heath. Perfect touch pass right over the top. And of course, Sinclair, who hasn't scored in quite some time, places it in the corner like the pro she is.
We used the word deceptive a few minutes ago to describe Heath. Not in that vein, but it sure fits.
And what I was just about to say, hey, I'm surprised to see Tobin Heath standing over the ball for this dead ball. She's only been here for 2 games, but clearly they knew that she's capable of making that pass, and Sinclair with her 5th goal of the season.
We wonder now if that's the one that unleashes Christine Sinclair.
You never know. Sometimes it just takes one.
Flipped ahead, Sinclair looking for Alex Morgan on a run, but gobbled up this time by McLeod. Sinclair Morgan, national team rivals, but they know each other well. This club team, and they played together before, Kendra.
Well, and 2 very different players, actually. I mean, we call Sinclair kind of a playmaking forward. Alex Morgan, obviously more over the top, direct, running onto things, taking players one-on-one. So it's a really neat, fun combination to watch up top.
You see the important note about Portland not conceding a lead when scoring the first goal, 8-0 so far this season.
The only team in the league to have never lost the lead or even tied a game after having it.
Mid-first half. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of NWSL on Fox Soccer. With Kendra D. St. Aubin, I'm Steve Cangelosi. On a late sunny afternoon in Portland. Sinclair battling again. This comes to Foxhoven instead.
Fuss got away with one there. She just grabbed Sinclair right around the waist and pulled her backwards right in front of the referee, but no foul.
Nassau runs out of room, and now Portland trying to build on the 1-0 advantage. Cleaned away by Vandenberg. Little flick by Hoy. Williamson is back here for Portland. Look sharp. Support your club by wearing the latest jerseys, shorts, and other attire of your favorite club. We remind you to visit NWSLshop.com. This is Bueller. Shim sees it played away by Sitch. Where is Rachel Bueller in the big scheme with the United States women's national team? Over 100 caps, but competition at that position, Kendra, as well.
She's still the fastest person on that team, and she hasn't lost any fitness, clearly. She's not going to be off that team until she chooses to take the jersey off. That's really how I feel about it, even with the new head coach and Sermani in there. She's really not irreplaceable, because obviously at some point she's going to retire, but really just a piece in history that she's carved out on that back line with her speed, her skill level, her communication, and her sense of the game. You can't top it.
Curious to get a look at Tom Sermani's roster as we approach the next game for the United States. That's coming up in September against Mexico. And then CONCACAF World Cup qualifying begins shortly after that. The road to Canada and 2015. Bueller under pressure, gets rid of this. Sinclair, well played for Doherty. Morgan making a run between two defenders, able to drop this. Christine Sinclair gets the cross away. Opportunity here, the quick shot, big save. It was closed down by McLeod. Another try is blocked by Rachel Kwan. Staying with it, Tobin Heath. And now finally taken by Chicago as the foul is called against Portland. And shaken up several players on the field, including Erin McLeod.
She made a tremendous save coming off her line. Of course, I'm sure Tobin Heath probably wishes she could have this one back. Took an extra touch here to settle that down. Thought she had all the time in the world. And look at McLeod taking it square in the forehead. A point-blank shot. Then she has to bounce up and get back to her line because the ball was still inside the 18. Tremendous job from the keeper on that play.
Fans here at Geldwin got to look just as you did, and we heard the audible reaction here from them.
The groan.
Roughly 13,000 on hand for the game this afternoon. They've peaked as high as 16,000 earlier this year. Portland Thorns FC. The great stories around the league, how they've been warmly received here in the Pacific Northwest in this first season.
Got the Rose City Riveters on one end. They don't sit down. They're making lots of noise. It's a great atmosphere here as Chicago tries to get one on net, but kind of trickles in there.
Merritt Paulson will be joining us at halftime. He was front and center in the movement to have an MLS team launch with a franchise in NWSL as well. Portland Timbers, the only team to do that. 1-0 here, the home side in front. Foxhoven. Well played by Shim. Heath. Too far for the onrushing Morgan.
I understand Heath's instinct there to find Morgan with that speed up top, but I really like Nikki Marshall making that run out of that left back spot. There was a lot of space up there, building numbers.
Nasser gives it away to the foot of Tobin Heath.
Not quite enough on that one.
Off Sitch. 1-0 lead for Portland, roughly a third of the way through the match. Williamson for Doherty. Deflects away off Marion Doherty. Throw in here for Chicago. Having lost Lori Kolupny early in the match. Chicago no wins in its first 6, just 2 draws, 2 of a possible 18 points to start the season before things turned around in this very stadium in a victory back on June 1st. Here's Heath. Nice move to avoid Rachel Kwan. It was a 2-0 win for Chicago in this stadium, but many of the regulars for Portland were on national team duty that day. Here's Foxhoven. Danielle Foxhoven plays it ahead and picked away by Chicago. Good hustle by Williamson, gives to Doherty. Foxhoven. Doherty has Morgan on a run, and McLeod is there.
McLeod well off her line several times already today. She knows that those balls are going to be coming over the top. They are playing right on that back line. Kwan tries to stay with her, but don't forget she's got 2 out there. She's marking 2 players on that far side. Great job by McLeod coming off her line.
Keeps this a 1-goal match. Tobin Heath in the midfield for Portland. Uses the width of the field. This is Mana Shim.
Look at that.
Tries to work around Kwan. The service from the far side headed away.
3 or 4 really smooth step overs by Shimon that time, but Kwon didn't bite.
Born in Honolulu is Mana Shim. 3 goals and an assist, and she has scored big goals. This Portland team underwent just an awful offensive drought up until a few weeks ago. A drought ended in a goal by Shim versus Western New York. Foxhoven sees it stripped away. Chicago seeking the turning point here today. Vandenberg drills it off Foxhoven. Red Stars continue to move forward. Messer, corner kick.
Again, maybe one of the more dangerous opportunities that Chicago is going to have the entire game. It's their second corner kick, I believe, of the match. One of the rare opportunities where they can get it in that 18 and try to mix it up.
Sitch, her second corner of the match. To the far post. Doherty will track that down as it went off Alex Morgan.
Not a lot of height on that Red Stars roster out there right now, so maybe play a short corner in that situation and get a shot on net or serve it in from a better angle.
As the league's exclusive charitable partner, U.S. Soccer Foundation and NWSL have partnered in support of the Foundation's mission to enhance, assist, and grow the sport of soccer in the United States. For more info, visit ussoccerfoundation.org. Off Chicago, 3 players on the near side. Portland will have it. Sinclair. Good recovery. Vandenberg kept alive near side by Messer, and here's Jen Hoy. On the move, Adriana Leon. Crosses up with Hoy, now lays it off. Hoy, top of the box. Faked the shot, now has to contend with Nikki Marshall. Able to drop this back. Leslie Osborne gives here. Good build-up. Sitch at the top of the 18. Williamson all over her, but Sitch keeps it alive, and now the foul is called against Portland.
Well, maybe what the fans we hear them booing here don't understand that she was clearly fouled trying to make that play. But the referee did the right thing, let the play go on. As we can see some good, clean tugging, but at the last second there, a clear push from behind, she calls it back. And again, another dangerous opportunity for Chicago. I really like the buildup of that play. It was great passing in and around the 18.
A little better in the last few moments for the visiting side. It will be Ella Masser. Cracked it off Marshall. Kept alive. Leon. That won't get through. Masser once again. Curls one into the area and too far for Santa Catarina.
I think the problem Chicago may run into a little bit is they exerting so much energy getting behind the ball and defending as we see Portland continue to attack, and you see Tobin Heath and you see everybody making these runs. Foxhoven in and out all over the place. They're having to do a lot of work defensively. Then when you get the ball, it's tough to go forward and combine.
Rachel Bueller out of the back. Foose. Picked away by Portland. Sinclair. Return feed. Christine Sinclair able to control. Off the deflection. Curls one towards goal, and she'd love to have that back.
Then you can see how quickly Chicago turns that ball over in the middle of the field, and it's off to the races for Portland. They get numbers forward quickly.
different role under this coach, Cindy Parlow-Cone, for Christine Sinclair than what we've grown accustomed to through the years with her club team and with the Canadian national team as well, isn't it?
It is different for her being up top, but I think the combination, as we talked about earlier, with Morgan continuing to push so high, she kind of drops in behind her almost like a midfielder, and she gets to be that playmaking forward. She did play in the midfield early in the season before Tobin Heath came on board, and was still trying to kind of find her groove and figure out her role, and now I think she's starting to get it and it's starting to click.
Finding her freedom in that sense with the addition of Tobin Heath. This deflects off Doherty, we believe. Chicago is clearly stating the case, and yes, the referee, Kara Seitz, says Red Stars will have it. Lydia Vandenberg throw in. 38th minute, 1-0 Portland. Christine Sinclair, the lone goal so far. Shim in the midfield. Morgan trying to get on this, and that's defended well by Foose. The other German international for Chicago, Inka Green's not in the starting lineup today. They just played several days ago. It may be as simple as that.
LeBlanc with her trademark mohawk back there. Always a different shade than the rest of her hair.
Just 13 goals allowed in the 15 games she's played this season. Marshall.
Whoa.
Hard collision in the midfield, and the player who went down was Leslie Osborne, and the call goes Chicago's way.
It's kind of an interesting situation there. It looked like Marshall was trying to go forward and attack out of the back, then maybe got a little out of control on that dribble in the end and took out a Chicago player in the meantime. Could have just probably been a no call there. Looked like everybody just sort of got tripped up.
Gets Rory Dame's attention. And this will be taken by the goalkeeper, Erin McLeod, at basically midfield.
And they've got the whole team up there on the 18. They're trying to get something going here.
The quick retreat by McLeod as it's played ahead by Portland. Nasser looking for Motts and taken away. Ali Long for Portland. Shim has looked comfortable in the midfield so far.
Oregon wanted a foul there. It kind of seemed like a late whistle to me. It looked like, you know, Morgan got up, complained a little bit, asking for the foul, and then the referee decided to blow the whistle. It wasn't a play-on situation, but she wanted that foul back in midfield. Not a really smart foul. She's all the way back at the halfway line. No real point in fouling her back there.
Risk reward. Bueller pumps this into the Chicago area. Ali Long, and another hard collision. Both players are down. And that's Alyssa Motts, who came on for Kolutny, who's shaken up herself.
You can hear the crowd reacting there as they take a look at this replay, and both players really going for a 50-50. Obviously, Motts was coming in a little bit late. Ali Long got to that ball first. Really dangerous play by Motts to come in a little bit late with her head. I'm surprised we're not seeing any blood on anybody's jersey, to be quite honest, with that collision.
Motts is shaken up, goes for the water bottle, and the concern here is for Ali Long of Portland, who remains down on the field and got the worst of this.
Oh, and she does look like she's bleeding. And she's been a key piece in the central midfield. And she definitely took more of the blow than giving it, as you see Ali Long getting to the ball first and Motts more clearly just getting the head of Allie Long as she comes off the field with a towel on her face.
We alluded to the injury. Portland midfielder Becky Edwards. It has been Long who's filled that position admirably for Portland this year, and Moss gets the yellow card in this game's 42nd minute. Free kick, Tobin Heath, and Mott's not allowed to enter just yet. She's ready. Heath tried to send Alex Morgan on her way. Mott's back on. It's 11 v 11. Here's Doherty. Flipped by Jen Hoy. Masser following up near side. Game taking a physical toll now just prior to the half.
We're seeing a lot of bodies on the turf, and of course, just remember the Red Stars played on Thursday. Portland has had an entire week off as well. So not only are we seeing a physical match with some bodies flying all over the place, the Red Stars, you've got to imagine, are going to be a little more fatigued than maybe Portland coming into this match.
Foose, the free kick.
And Portland's still playing with 10. They've not put on anybody on the field yet for long.
It's off Portland. Chicago with the deep throw-in. We mentioned the scenario today. A Portland win coupled with a draw by the Kansas City Sky Blue FC game would result in Portland gaining first place overall. We understand there's a severe weather delay that's holding things up as Kansas City and Sky Blue are yet to get underway. Opportunity here for Heath.
Now that looked like a clean header to me. That was a... Now, don't forget, let's say Masser is probably about 5'3", if that. Bueller just did a great job of finding the height and climbing up and getting that header. I'd have to see the replay if she really got on her back, because you can see Masser, she's got those rubber pebbles all over her forehead, and she is a tough, solid player as well. But that looked like a pretty clean header by Bueller. A little bit over the top, but either way, it's a dangerous dead ball for Chicago.
Well, here's your chance, Kendra.
And listen to that crowd. They're not happy with that call. I mean, this is 19 yards out. They need to get something going here.
Will it be Foose or Santa Catarina? Sonia Foose strikes. Sails harmlessly over the crossbar.
And it's got to be a little deflating for Chicago, I have to admit, if you have this opportunity. First of all, you're only down 1-0 right now, and you're almost at the half. And Portland has had some tremendous opportunities. As we see 3 minutes of extra time here added on. Chicago's got to do better with that opportunity 19 yards out. Put something on frame and see what happens.
3 minutes of added time. A reminder, our halftime coverage on Fox Soccer. Merritt Paulson, head of the ownership group of Portland Thorns FC, will be our guest. Highlights, stats, and more.
And Allie Long back in the game. You see her defending that ball right there. Looks like she maybe just took a butterfly band-aid or something on that forehead, and she stepped right back in on the play.
Vandenberg. It's too far from Masser.
And it does look like maybe just a little bit of a butterfly band-aid on that eyebrow.
Masser trying to drop this for Lyon. Sinclair trying to clear it away. Comes up high on Alex Morgan. And the whistle blows. This will go Portland's way. Frustrated Alex Morgan, and the yellow card is coming here. Adriana Leone is cautioned just prior to the half.
Just a little bit maybe of a mental mistake there, getting that yellow card. You know, the Red Stars are not in a position to really be worrying about losing players to a second yellow or a red. So Leone's got to watch it here now from this point forward.
Motz and Leone playing with yellow cards for Chicago. Rachel Kwan concedes the corner late in the half. She had options there. Now Tobin Heath. Third corner of the match for Portland. Deflects off Foxhoven, right back for Heath. Sinclair, good job to control, gets the flick away, and McLeod will guide this safely over the goal line. Portland's arguing its case here for the corner, and now the referee, yes, he'll make that call. Another corner is awarded. The late signal by the referee, Karasites.
We've seen that a couple times this game, a little bit of a late signal or a late whistle by the referee.
Here's Heath from the near side. She had 11 corners in the previous match. Allie Long in the middle of another collision, and this time the half comes to an end on that sequence. 1-0. Portland Thorns leading Chicago Red Stars. Kendra, your thoughts on the opening 45 minutes?
I feel like the Red Stars have to feel like this is pretty much a win for them to be only down 1-0 at the half with the Portland Thorns pressure. And if I'm Portland, I'm not happy with only being up 1-0, especially in front of this tremendous home crowd with those opportunities.
The goal by Christine Sinclair, her 5th of the year. And Portland trying to make it back-to-back victories. Our halftime coverage on Fox Soccer begins in just a few moments. Merritt Paulson will join us, and story of the first half here at Jeld-Wen Field when we come back.
Your turn.
It's your turn to discover a legend for your lifetime. Introducing the F-Type from Jaguar.
Anytime's a great time for a cold, refreshing Mike's.
Anytime? Even now?
Even if you're bowling against Martin Landau and a man covered in dirt rubs up on your shirt.
Yeah.
It's a great time, you see.
For a Mike's?
Yes, sirree.
Even if they were bodybuilders on bikes?
Even if they brought that guy that nobody likes. Even if you see your girl with your best friend Juan and the ground opened up and then you were gone. Guess I'll talk to you now. Sorry about your friend. Mike's is great anytime. There's Landau again. It's never not a good time for a refreshing Mike's.
Are you making it just any night? Or are you making it remember that night? With America's #1 choice, Pizza Hut. Now get great pizza at a great price. The $10 any carry-out deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings. Now just $10 when you carry out. Tonight, make it great.
Any last requests, Mr. Baldwin?
Mind grabbing my phone and opening the Capital One Purchase Eraser? I need to redeem some venture miles before my demise.
Okay.
It's easy to erase any recent travel expense I want. Just pick that flight right there, give it a few taps, and it's taken care of.
This is pretty easy, and I see it works on hotels too.
You bet. Now, if you like that, press the red button on top. How did he not see that coming? What's in your wallet?
Wow, look at this!
If you're disabled and unable to work, pay attention to the following message.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be entitled to disability benefits through Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from a physical or mental disability.
Time for highlights. Kendra.
Well, and it started off here with a great combination play, but first we had the injury to Lori Kolupny, taken down from behind. Tobin Heath gets a yellow card, and Kolupny does not go down easily, and you see her not putting any pressure on that right ankle. She wanted to try to give it a go after she came off the field and couldn't do it. And here's a little cheeky goal, a little Tobin Heath flick over the line for Sinclair, and she places it in left-hand side corner. McLeod didn't stand a chance. And Red Stars just not ready for that play on the quick restart. And that's how Portland gets on the board 1-0. And look at McLeod coming off her line. She's had to do this 5 or 6 times already. Tobin Heath gets a ball in from Sinclair, and McLeod comes off her line, takes one square in the forehead. But either way, she makes the save and keeps the Red Stars off, the Portland Thorns off the board once again.
And maybe just one play away from changing the tone of everything here. 1-0 is the score, 6-5 the shot disparity. Not much of one in favor of Portland, but they do have the 2 shots on goal in this match. Yellow cards, there have been 3, and keep an eye because 2 players on Chicago, Motz and Leon, each playing with the caution. When we come back, more from Portland. Merrick Paulson joins us in just a few moments.
It's something he creates. The ability to push ego aside and begin again. That was the inspiration behind our recreation. A soul reimagined.
Golden Corral just passed America's Family Budget Act. Right now, kids eat for just $2.99 Monday through Thursday. It's a great value, perfect for your family budget. It's your nonstop Golden Corral favorites, all at our endless dinner buffet. It's the $2.99 Kids Dinner Special, only at Golden Corral.
It's always been a part of me to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Whether on my block or around the world. My name is First Lieutenant King, and I move toward the sounds of those who are in need of help.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing 2 men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
Does being over 40 make you feel like half the man you used to be? Do you feel more tired, out of shape, not in the mood like you used to be? If you said yes to any of these questions, it's not your fault. You may have reduced testosterone. Thanks to an exclusive formula, you can help boost testosterone levels safely and naturally. Introducing Ageless Male, a life-changing supplement for men.
Tested to help increase testosterone levels.
Try Ageless Male risk-free if you would like to experience what taking Ageless Male can feel like. Support for healthy, normal testosterone levels, healthy energy, and increased performance, and more romance when you want it.
Why not increase your testosterone? Get Ageless Male now, risk-free. Call 1-800-862-6084. That's 1-800-862-6084. 800-862-6084.
Welcome back on Fox Soccer. The story at halftime, Portland leading 1-0 over Chicago. That's a scoreline that makes our halftime guest pretty happy. He's the owner of Portland Thorns FC. Merrick Paulson is kind enough to join us. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Fox Soccer. I'll start with this. The average attendance better than 12,800. That's more than a few teams in MLS. That's more than a few teams in Serie A. When did you first know you were onto something good here?
Well, we've always had a strong conviction about the quality of the soccer market in general here, as evidenced by what we've got going on in MLS with the Timbers. And you see the support of the women's game at the University of Portland. And I knew that, you know, if this could work anywhere, Portland really was the best opportunity. And I had good expectations for this team, but I'll be honest, we broke into the high side of those expectations. You would have asked me at the beginning of the year, what would we average? I would have said I would have been very happy with 5,000 season ticket holders, maybe averaging around 8 a game. As you said, we're around 13,000, so yeah, that's impressive.
When everybody really wants to see this league really survive and accomplish great things, what are you guys going to be doing going forward after this season wraps up? What kind of changes would you like to see as an owner?
Well, it's a good question. I think we got to remember that this league came together really quickly. The U.S. Soccer put it together, and the owners had to scramble and really putting together, you know, ticket sales packages and everything. It was a tough order, but you know, one of the things I'd like to see is some better standards in the league in terms of field quality. I don't think we should be playing games on high school fields with line for 5 different sports, and I think we should have quality standards for web streaming and a number of other things. So I know a bunch of other owners agree with me. That's something that I hope to discuss. Actually, we have owners meetings coming up next week. So, you know, I think next year is going to be a better litmus test for the league in many ways, given that we'll have a better runway leading into the second season.
Well, wouldn't the obvious remedy to what you just talked about be more MLS partnership in this league? And do you believe that's on the horizon or not?
I certainly would tell you it's an advantage. I think having the infrastructure and the foundation that an MLS team has puts them at a tremendous advantage in launching an NWSL team. So I know there's some other MLS teams interested. I've talked to some other owners. Just speaking for myself and not the league, I'd love to see more MLS teams get involved.
And how much is your community involved here? We know the Timbers, you know, in their 3rd season. How much are they involved with the Portland Thorns? And do you see a lot of youth, women's, young girls playing out here and coming out to these games?
Oh, I mean, it's really all encompassing. I'd say what we do with the Stand Together platform here and the broader Timbers and Thorns organization really is second to none, not only in MLS or the NWSL, but I'd put ourselves up against about anybody in sports for the community outreach, community involvement. And, you know, the women have been terrific on this team, and we're working with every level of women's soccer and other folks in the community, so it's been great.
Congratulations. The best part, it's only just begun, so here's to more success. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for broadcasting the games.
Happy to do so. Merritt Paulson, the owner of Portland Thorns FC. Quick timeout at Jeld-Wen Field. The home side has the lead. It's 1-0. Second half kick moments away.
Two years is too long to wait. Introducing Jump from T-Mobile. Upgrade when you want, not when you're told.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
If you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-243-5065, 800-243-5065.
Goodbye, my dearest.
Wait!
Yes.
And just seconds into the start of play in the second half. Welcome back to Portland. Alongside Kennedy St. Aubin, I'm Steve Cangelosi. Portland Thorns, start of a 3-game homestand and leading 1-0 against Chicago. Goal by Christine Sinclair in the opening half. And as you can tell, an owner who's very pleased with the product joining us at halftime. Merritt Paulson, his team has hopes of a championship in this inaugural season. And on the heels of that conversation, I think the product is maybe the biggest thing here, Kendra, because no matter who you talk to, whether it's the owners, the coaches, the players, go back to the early days of WUSA more than a decade ago, the level of play is far superior to where we were a decade and a half ago.
Well, and no matter what, however you do the marketing and the publicity and how you try to get people to the games, they want to come and watch good soccer. That's really the key. And the level of play of this league right now, these 8 teams, is phenomenal, and I think that's why we're seeing the fans out here today in Portland. Not everybody has their attendance, and nobody maybe ever will. But the point is, it's the first season, and they continue to build.
Leon drops this into the 18. Fighting for it is Alyssa Motts, but taken away by Portland.
And you also need to have more owners like Paulson, too. Somebody who's passionate about the game, someone who cares about the product they put on the field, about the surfaces they play on and the facilities they play in. And hopefully that's the same sentiment across the league.
The situation here is somewhat unique. The infrastructure of this stadium on the turf surface, which just might be the best turf surface in all of North America. Players rave about it, men and women who've played on this field. And the setting itself, it's intimate, but it is electric.
And people talk about the field ops top to bottom, just the whole feeling when you get in coming to this stadium and the experience as a fan.
Sinclair defends that away. One of Portland's best chances late in the half. A free kick from straight on by Sonia Foose that sailed over the crossbar, and this is a foul. And a card is coming. It's issued to Nikki Marshall, I believe.
And it's going to be another yellow card for Chicago. They're going to really have to figure out a way to make this work and not foul, and just a late effort there. And that yellow card, I believe,
went the other way.
I believe it did. You're right. I think it went to Leslie Osborne.
It goes to Leslie Osborne.
She was way up there, pushed up on the opposite side of the field. And Chicago with another yellow.
Vandenberg. And the flag goes up on the onrushing Ella Messer. Well, we've talked about all the cautions that have been issued in the match, and more news from downstairs. Trey Manny, the assistant coach of Chicago Red Stars, has been ejected from the match for unacceptable behavior. And that all unfolding just a moment ago out of our sight line. But one coach has been kicked out of the game. Push from behind, that's Marshall. And this goes into the arms of LeBlanc, and that came very close to being a game-turning play.
I was thinking the same thing. Marshall was close on that one. A foul in the box, or could have been a foul that she did not get called for.
Motts puts this into space, and LeBlanc is there. Williamson out of the back. Here's Messer in the midfield. All the great soccer action you've come to love from Fox Soccer finds a new home August 17th with the debut of Fox Sports 1. The power of Fox Soccer is behind an all-new show. Fox Soccer Daily is coming August 19th at 4 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Counterattack here for Portland. This is Alex Morgan. Plays it out wide. Tobin Heath. Beautiful move around. Kwan rips the shot, but off the side of goal.
And again, another opportunity that you know Tobin Heath is going to want back. We saw that effort in the first half where she just took an extra touch. And on this one, she beats Kwan. A rare defensive mistake by Kwan as she overruns Heath, knowing she's probably going to cut that back in. She aims for that near post, trying to beat McLeod, and misses wide.
been the Achilles heel for Portland, just the ability to finish. Seen games where they've dominated the flow of play. Allie Long.
They got to be careful in the middle. She's playing on a yellow card there. I understand Chicago wants to be aggressive and double down in that midfield. Shut the Thorns down before they can get anything going, but you've got to be careful playing on a yellow.
Three Chicago players sitting on one yellow card at this point in the match. If you're just joining us, Lori Kolubny leaving due to injury early in the game. Team's leading goal scorer this season with 5. Nasser. Williamson shows her poise, goes back to LeBlanc. Osborne tried to play it into space. Sinclair instead links up with Alex Morgan. Morgan makes one move, gets the shot away, but again launches it too high.
It's been an issue of her this season, and one she has admitted to us and admitted in the interview before the game. She's not been able to get these shots on frame, just continually going over, not even forcing the keeper to make a save or maybe even give up a rebound. She wants to get those on net.
She's the player who spearheaded last week's 2-1 win versus Boston, scoring a goal, setting up the game winner by Shim. That goal was her first since June 5th. Throw in Portland early second half.
You see Tobin Heath right over there next to Foxhoven. There is really no set formation. I think we're going to find out here with Tobin Heath in the lineup. She likes to roam. She told me yesterday, I can only stay in one spot for so long.
Fun way to play. This is Nikki Marshall. Backtracking, defended well by Jen Hoy. Osborne under pressure from Morgan. This is Sinclair on the loose ball. Christine Sinclair makes her move and fires wide. This is off the side of goal. Oh, staring at a 2-goal game was Christine Sinclair. How did she miss?
I don't know how she missed, but you know what? Give credit to the Red Stars, too, for recovering. McLeod comes off her line, forces Sinclair to take a couple more touches, and 2 marking backs get in, and they get behind on that line to try to stop this shot. Just enough, maybe, for Sinclair to miss. Watch this recovery. She takes another touch, takes a look, tries to put it in that near post and misses wide. This could come back to bite the Portland Thorns because they've had ample opportunity to put this game away early and unable to do it. Still 1-0.
It's Foose and Santa Catarina that did get back. And aided somewhat in the miss by Christine Sinclair. Remains a 1-goal game.
Meanwhile, Osborne was still at midfield trying to figure out why she didn't get the foul that caused the turnover in the first place. She immediately went to the referee after and asked her.
Sinclair quickly played in. Foxhoven. Santa Catarina couldn't control. This is Alex Morgan. Takes it into the 18. Chance here, and yes, the finish this time from who else? Mana Shim. Her 3rd goal in the last 3. And it's a 2-0 Portland lead.
And the celebration here from this crowd, you can hear the noise level. Excited to see their team get on the board once again after how many missed opportunities we've seen through the first 55 minutes plus added time of this match. And here's a turnover again by the Red Stars in that back half of the field. A couple deflections, and look who's tightly marked. It's Tobin Heath and it's Alex Morgan making the run, and then of course Sinclair's in there too, so Shim able to sneak in and she puts it away.
An impact player now is number 6. What a difference she's made. The 21-year-old midfielder, that's her 4th goal of the year.
spark plug in the middle of the field, how they describe her. She takes advantages of her opportunities, and that's what we saw right there.
5'4", part of the United States under-23 national team, hoping one day to get her look, the senior side. So the mountain gets bigger for Chicago Red Stars. These points are at such a premium for Chicago. Coming into the game 6, 7, and 4. This is game 18. After this, just 4 more to play. McLeod lofts this into the 18. Corner kick is awarded. Second of the match coming up here for Chicago. It will be Sitch. Julianne Sitch headed away. Sinclair got a piece of that. Kwan fired that. Blocked away by Ali Long. Staying with it is Chicago. And another corner is earned here. Red Stars trying to get something going in the game's 57th minute.
Trying to get some offense going, and I have been really impressed with the Red Stars because when they have been able to get in that offensive third of the field, they are working hard, trying to get numbers forward, despite defending so much of the game.
Here's Sitch once again. Little more withdrawn. The long header is defended away off the line. McLeod got some help. That might have been Santa Catarina, but now in transition, Morgan, and just getting that away. Here's Aaron McLeod. End to end now. Leone tries to lay this off. Tobin Heath. Referee calls advantage. Portland stays with it. Marshall has it stripped away. Leone. Cleared by Bueller.
Great hustle there by the Red Stars to win that ball back, and then Leone just a little bit too strong of a touch as she tries to go forward.
Game's opened up with the flick of a switch here, Kendra, in the last few minutes.
And it has been a physical match. We have seen some bodies on the turf. I love good physical play in women's soccer. I'll take it any day of the week as long as it's clean.
Change is coming from the Chicago side, and this is the player we expected with her team down, too. The German striker, 34-year-old Inka Grings, comes on.
A player that we've been told has been a real difference maker. I haven't been able to watch every minute of every game, but she's really made a difference in her short time with this club.
Scored just 1 goal, but the team really began to take form upon her arrival. Stay in the loop on all things NWSL by following us on Twitter at NWSL and liking us on Facebook. Glad you've joined us from Portland. 60th minute of the match. 2-0. Portland Thorns FC. Stripped away by Chicago. Opportunity here. The croc from long range, and yes, the strike this time is in.
You kind of felt like you didn't know for sure if it was going to happen because the Red Stars haven't had a ton of opportunities, but they didn't slow down. They continued to push and they continued to press, and Portland hasn't been able to put the Red Stars away, so it's Motts with some great footwork here. Gets it on the 18, takes a look, and what a beauty. Upper right-hand corner beats LeBlanc. What a finish.
Alyssa Motts in the middle of it all today. Physical nature of the game that you've spoken about. Now her team has some life with still plenty of time to go. Leone near side. Battling with Bueller. And Long plays this back to LeBlanc. Sinclair gets this back from Foxhoven. Ball came out on the far side. Chicago will have it. Alyssa Mott's third goal of the year. Cut the deficit in half. Marshall for Portland. Oof. Gets it back from Tobin Heath. Slowly to her feet is Tobin Heath. She's fine. Battle near side. Leon. And Heath keeps this in play. Told the other match in NWSL, Kansas City Sky Blue is just about to get underway at Piscataway after a lengthy delay. Shim for Long. Here's Bueller.
As much as we talk about this high-powered offense for Portland and these names we continue to mention that can put goals in the net, and they're playing better the past few weeks. They've only scored 4 goals more than one time this season. One other time this season they've scored more than 2. I'm sorry, it's a better way to phrase it. It was 4 goals in that game. 2 goals kind of seems like it's their max so far this season, and that's where they sit right now at 2-1. And you have to wonder, as they continue this stretch and they play FC Sky Blue in Kansas City later this week before they head on that road trip, they're going to have to find a way to score.
And again, in firm playoff position, but wanting very much to finish first and wanting the road to the first championship to go through this stadium. Sinclair brings it down, and yes, this time beats McLeod. And that could be the one that puts the day away.
She must have heard me talking about only scoring 2 goals most of the season here, because she puts the 3rd one in the net. And it looks like maybe Chicago's defense just fell asleep on that one, because Sinclair walked right in there pretty much unmarked. And again, McLeod having to come off her line and try to make a tremendous save. Look at this little ball movement here. Tobin Heath, a nice play in, but look at, did maybe Foose slipped. It was tough to tell there. She was kind of getting back off the ground. She might have been the one marking Sinclair as she walked in pretty freely.
6th goal of the year for Christine Sinclair. Now 1 behind Alex Morgan for the team lead. So it would appear that at least for a few hours, Portland will occupy first place in NWSL with a victory here. And they'd stay there pending the result of the other game. Running out of room near side is the hero so far, Christine Sinclair.
Looks like some confusion here as they're going to bring it all the way back here for a dead ball.
Julianne Sitch. Free kick, Chicago.
That was not what she wanted to do.
Santa Catarina. Juan. Ball stays in play for Red Stars. Played back. Leon. Into space. Trying to turn around with it is Sitch. Here's Kwan. Well played by Jen Hoy. Closed down by Bueller and taken away. But Adriana Leon with more to say. Portland not out of the woods yet. Long battling back. And now the clearance. Foul called against Chicago as Allie Long goes down. Next week on Fox Soccer, the Portland Thorns FC take on Lauren Holiday and FC Kansas City on Sunday, August 4th at 8:30 p.m. at Gerald Wen Field. Get your tickets today by visiting PortlandThornsFC.com. Kansas City, one of the teams rolling, a difficult team to face. They've earned the first place standing at the start of play today. And Lauren Cheney Holiday is a league MVP favorite right now.
why when you read that promo, you got to kind of include the Cheney part, because some people are going, who the heck is Lauren Holiday? Married Drew Holiday. Not too long ago, right?
In the past 6 months, I believe, right?
I saw the rock on her finger with the U.S. Women's National Team back in December, and he did a good job picking that one out.
Near side, Nikki Marshall. 3-0 game, 3-1, should say, in favor of Portland FC. The answer by Sinclair after the rocket by Alyssa Motts seemingly got Chicago back in it. Now Jen Hoy gets away from Bueller. Hoy trying to make the deficit one. Sharp angle try, and it went by the far post. Motts. And cleared away by Doherty.
A rare mistake in the back, or maybe a little bit of a slip up by Bueller on that back line, allowed Jen Hoy to get in behind the D. And look at this ball over the top. Bueller, she initially looked like she was going to maybe take a touch back to LeBlanc, because we see the ball coming back here now the other way. That was like a fast break in basketball. We barely got done on one end, and it was coming back the other direction.
Pass in the direction of Alex Morgan, too far. Here's Doherty. Kat Williamson out of the back for Portland. First of 3 straight at home before finishing up on the road. Talked a lot about this stadium and the effect the fans have had. Truth be told, they've had a better record on the road, strangely enough. Portland Thorns FC, but almost to a woman, they want the playoffs here. Probably a lot of neutral observers in the league would like that too.
I think there's a sense of pride in what they have here and the fans that they have here, the community that they've built with this club and with the Timbers. And they want to showcase that in the final. They don't want to just finish in the top 4. They want to finish at the top and #1 and host. Alex Morgan, actually with Tobin Heath, said that's very important to them. They want to showcase their stadium for all to see. After all, this is the first TV game that they've had here, so now everybody can witness it for themselves.
Soccer hotbed in North America, the Portland Timbers seemingly in contention. The Western Conference in MLS. This is Marshall stepping up off the left foot. This will come back the other way.
Marshall from that outside back position has gotten forward quite a bit today, something that Coach Cindy Parlow-Cone was harping on even yesterday at training. I want those guys to get forward. I want them to be aggressive. I don't know why they're not doing it, and she's done it quite a bit today.
Portland's the hungrier team right now. Look at Morgan busting through, and McLeod gets rid of that.
Santa Catarina maybe just a little bit lazy on that ball back. McLeod coming off her line once again to save the day.
Long deflected that. It went off the head of Inka Grings. German striker just entered the match not long ago. Now the referee will check out Inka Grings. She's okay. She stays on. '70th minute of a 3-1 game. Foxhoven far side. Leon, and a good defensive play. That was Ali Long. Far side, Morgan gets tangled up. And now the call goes against Alex Morgan, and she's not happy about it.
And now she's going to get a yellow card for flipping that ball, I believe, over the end and over the sign. And you could tell she knew she was going to get called for the foul there, because she didn't even go after that ball that stayed in bounds. But it's been a good battle up there, up top with Alex Morgan and some of those marking backs throughout the game today. Take another look at this play. Just a good shoulder-to-shoulder battle. A clean towel. Looks like she got the ball. Tough totally to tell from that angle, but obviously it was the push afterwards to Vandenberg that got Alex Morgan that call, that yellow.
Headed away, Cat Williamson for Portland. Chicago following up here. Played across to the far post. Leon was sitting there. This is deflected away off Portland. Corner kick coming up, and this is Chicago's fourth of the match. The sub is on the Portland side. Emily O'Neill. Nikki Marshall. Her day is done in the 72nd minute. O'Neill made this club after a preseason trial, age 30. Defended away by Portland.
I think the Red Stars are going to have to try to figure out a way to be a little bit more successful on these corner kicks because they have gotten quite a few today. They're able to get an end line to force those corner kicks, but clearly not a lot of height on that team. They're going to have to find some other option continuing going forward here to be more dangerous on those set pieces.
Hoy, that's defended away by Bueller. Chicago keeping things in the attacking area here. They'll be needing two to level the match. Leon quickly in. Here's Kwan. Curls one in the 18.
You can see Kwan looking for an option. She wants someone to check to her so she can give them the ball and maybe get it back, but nobody really checking at the ball right there.
Second goal by Sinclair, Portland's third. Boy, you wondered if that would just take the spirit out of Chicago. They're pressing forward here, though, in the last few sequences as Foose will put down the free kick. Foose wants the assistant referee to back up Tobin Heath. Swings it into the 18. Sitch able to keep this alive. Now the whistle blows, and this is against Chicago. Difficult two-game swing to the Pacific Northwest. Will the Red Stars leave this area of the country empty-handed after the loss a few nights ago in Seattle?
It's going to be a tough run for them. I mean, Coach said the other day before they suffered that loss on Thursday that they may need to win out. And if they don't win out, they're going to need some things to fall in their favor to get into the postseason. As we see Alex Morgan coming off the field for today. And right now, it's not looking good for the Red Stars in postseason opportunity.
The math gets more difficult with a loss here today. Alex Morgan kept off the score sheet today. Sinclair and Shim the goal scorers, and Tiffany Weimer is the player who comes on. Portland trying to put the finishing touches on this as this comes to Grings. Here's Kwan. Leon. Kwan able to curl this in the 18 and hit it down. And yes, within one is Chicago. And that's the second of the game for Alyssa Motz.
I love the fight that the Red Stars are showing in this game. They have not been down from the second Kolupny went down with the injury early on. They've continued to fight back and bounce back. And I knew as soon as Kwan got that ball on her foot, I was like thinking she's going to drive this one low in the box. That is what she is known for. She has that skill. She picked her out perfectly, and Motz gets on the end of it. LeBlanc unable to make the save, and it's a 3-2 game.
So now the drama intensifies. One of the best strikers in the world has just checked out of the match. You've made it a one-goal game and still a quarter of an hour to play. Heath. Played back for Allie Long. Now will Portland have an answer?
They answered quick after the last one.
Opportunity here and the crack, yes! The flag goes up on the far side, though. It will not count.
And I'm not sure she was offside. I was watching. That marking back on the left side may have kept her on, but either way, the flag goes up.
What an entrance it would have been for Tiffany Weimer, who just checked in. Leon, it's still a one-goal match. Long is under pressure.
Take a look at this play. And how about the job by the linesman being in the right spot at the right time? Weimer kind of comes back on from an offside position, just a half a step offside. Correct call by the linesman on that play.
Played across. Here's Doherty. Sinclair gets on this. Christine Sinclair working on a two-goal game. It's defended away. Corner kick. And Sinclair still showing great pace in the late stage of the match.
And it's going to be an interesting combination here now with Weimer up top. I thought maybe with her coming in the game, they'd slide Foxhoven up there. But as we've seen early on, a lot of those pieces are so interchangeable anyway. It's fun to see how they work together.
Tobin Heath from the far side. In traffic, McLeod is there. Almost want the distribution to be quicker from Chicago. Well, copyright in this production belongs to the National Women's Soccer League, and the said production may not be used, sold, licensed, transferred, copied, or reproduced in whole or in part, in any manner or form, or in or on any media, to any person without either the prior written consent of the National Women's Soccer League. With that business done, we embark on the final dozen minutes of the match in Portland. 3-2. Favor of the home side, Portland Thorns. They have not lost a match in which they've scored the first goal this season. Foul called against Chicago. Marion Doherty. Following up here, Sinclair pumps it out wide. This is Weimer. Back to Sinclair. Plays it in. Following up. Heath with a drive. And it just missed. Trying to put the match to bed is Tobin Heath.
And you can see just a little bit of a misclear there. Didn't get enough on it. And Tobin Heath with that skill, she takes a touch, takes a look, picks out her spot, and try to place it right in that upper corner. She's not a shooter, she's a finisher. She finds where she wants to place that ball and she puts it there. She doesn't kind of just shoot on the net willy-nilly, trying to get it on frame.
Leon pulling forward for Chicago. Sinclair trying to step up for this. It's a hard challenge and a high foot by Adriana Leon. She's playing with a yellow card already. Let's see what the referee has to say.
I think she's just explaining to her what the call was, because you can see Leon kind of put her hands out going, well, what the heck did I do this time? She's a very aggressive physical player.
Rachel Bueller in Portland played better than 80 minutes, clinging to the 1-goal lead. Goal kick by Aaron McLeod. Chicago trying to stay in contention in the NWSL playoff picture. 5 points behind the 4th place team, the Western New York Flash. The top 4 go to the semifinals beginning on August 24th. Sinclair navigates that well, and now seeks out Shim. Ball poked to Foxhoven. Williamson with room, tries to find another gear. Kat Williamson into the attack. Pass low for Heath. She's denied by Sitch. Heath stays with it. Williamson plays this across. Shim trying to get on this. And finally this will come to Aaron McLeod. Shim, one of the goal scorers today, slow to her feet after that exchange. Sinclair. Sends Doherty on her way. Heath, nice job to control by Weimer. Weimer with the poke, and perfectly positioned is Eric McLeod.
Another great through ball by Heath. You can see her ability to really make those passes that maybe nobody else sees. But an excellent run by Weimer also to run right even with the defense with that line, and they get that through ball.
Now look sharp and support your club by wearing the latest jersey, shirts, or other attire of your favorite team. Check out the site today at nwslshop.com. Home stretch of the National Women's Soccer League season. Chance here. Will it fall for Grings? Her poke! Off the crossbar, following up Grings. Punched away by the keeper and battled off the line. Kat Williamson with the game-saving play. And that's about as close as you can come.
What an unbelievable effort there by the Red Stars. Of course, the Portland Thorns recovering. Well, LeBlanc just got caught completely in no man's land. Off her line there. Griggs with the cheeky chip tries to get it over, hits the crossbar, and on the second effort.
Now curled in. LeBlanc taking charge before Kwan can get there. Oh, Alyssa Motz looking at a hat trick and couldn't get enough on it.
Portland didn't give up on that one. The marking backs got back and covered that line for LeBlanc. But unfortunate for Grings that first effort didn't go in, because that was a nice little play by her. You could see the look on LeBlanc's face too. As she turned around and watched it, I mean, she pretty much thought that was going in.
Allie Long, 85th minute. Much better from Chicago. Grings from long range. Thought she had LeBlanc cheating just enough. Instead, it comes back the other way for Portland.
That one might have been a little bit ambitious. You can see her put her hands up afterwards. Like, okay, sorry about that one, guys.
Another offensive substitution from Chicago. The 34-year-old Mexican striker, Marimel Dominguez, steps on in this 85th minute. Lydia Vandenberg is done.
Chicago knows they need the points here. A loss does them absolutely zero good. So if you lose 3-2 or 4-2, it's not going to matter. They're putting in some offensive firepower up there.
Dominguez, her first touch. You can sense Portland on its heels now, late in the match. Kwon swings it into the box. Not out of harm's way yet. Little pick, and it's in! From the top of the 18, the game-tying goal. Julianne Sitch, and we are level at 3.
And look at the expression on their faces and the joy that they have with this game and this comeback. I mean, unbelievable. She takes a touch really off the midsection there, and a volley that beats LeBlanc.
Weimer for Portland, and cleared away by Kwon.
Kwon didn't take any chances with that one. It may have gone wide, but she wasn't going to risk it.
Ball stays in. Dominguez on the run. Had options, went for Grings up top. And taken away by Portland. Dramatic final moments still to unfold here with the match tied at 3. Chicago quickly on every loose ball in the last few sequences. Here's Inka Grings. Alyssa Motts out wide, working on a 2-goal game.
She's looking for an option there. She needs Dominguez to make that run. You have to remember, Dominguez just came on with some fresh legs. You've got Motts and you've got some other players in the middle that have been running ragged all day. You need Dominguez to be able to make that run. She should have plenty of energy out there right now.
Rory Dame's team battling back. They were down 2. Dominguez flicks it out wide. Motts skies this into the 18. Sinclair trying to take control and gives here to Foxhoven. Alex Morgan was subbed out of the match when the scoreline was 3-1. Leon. That's a good ball. Picks up Dominguez. Goes straight for goal. Back the other way for a goal kick. Substitution from the Portland side now. This is Ange Kerr coming into the match to replace Foxhoven. NCAA champ from nearby University of Portland. 89th minute. LeBlanc. Kerr, first touch. Sinclair. Kerr able to drop this to the foot of Heath. And the foul called against Portland. Free kick here. Aaron McLeod. Sitch. Woman with the game-tying goal. Sitch in the 18. Soft shot off the left foot, and LeBlanc gobbles it up.
She battled in traffic to keep possession of that ball. She was feeling it, though. She wanted another effort at no goal.
It's the quick distribution from LeBlanc. And cleared away by Chicago. Far side of the field. Jen Hoy keeps this in play. Hoy, very aggressive play, trying to win possession, and does. Gets it to the foot of Leon. And the Red Stars work more. Leon from distance puts this into the bleachers.
Unlucky on that effort as it goes over the net. But you can see Hoy really working over there. Somehow she's finding the energy to continue to play at that intensity level.
3 minutes of stoppage time in the second half. Here's Sinclair. Weimer. She's been crisp since coming in as the substitution for Alex Morgan. Puts it into space. Advantage is called. Long trying to stay with this, and now to the foot of Dominguez. Red Stars have numbers. They have 4 into the attack. Dominguez. Oh, that's too far for Inka Grings.
And look who was tracking back all the way to defend. Sinclair. She saw that they were numbers down as they just pushed really high, and she was tracking all the way back to the midfield.
Boyd pokes this out wide. Greens will get on this. Brought down by Ali Long. To the midfield. Weimer taken away. Opportunity here. Dominguez quickly on it for Chicago. Maribel Dominguez not enough on the shot and safely into the arms of LeBlanc. Under 2 minutes to go. It's been a wild one at Jeld-Wen Field here in Portland. Our first Fox Soccer telecast at Jeld-Wen. Chicago Red Stars battling back from 3-1 down in the second half. Ball comes to Leon. Pass for Ali Long, too soft. Osborne trying to create something out of nothing for Chicago. It was earlier in the year, Kendrick. Be something to build on for Chicago, but points at such a premium that one doesn't do them enough, as you alluded to. Under a minute to play.
And they are just scrapping every second of this game. Never letting down even after they went down early, and then of course down 3-1, as you said. They've showed their competitive nature here today.
Jen Hoy. Still time for Chicago. Sitch for Leon. Gets the cross away and defended away by Portland. Comes again. Sitch between two Portland defenders. Tied up with Tobin Heath. Sitch. Live ball. Kwan plays it across. Is this the last hope for Red Stars? Doherty gets it out of harm's way. We near 3 minutes of added time. Osborne bounces in the 18, cleared away by Cat Williamson. To Weimer, and that's all. The final score at Jeld-Wen Field in Portland. Portland Thorns 3, Chicago Red Stars 3.
What a job by the Red Stars to really fight back and get that tie. Don't think it'll be enough for the postseason play, but it'll be interesting to see how those next few games play out for both sides.
For Portland, a 2-goal game for Sinclair. For Chicago, 2 goals for Motts. We're back with a wrap on Fox Soccer in a moment.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing 2 men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
Okay, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
Man is a determined creature. There's an inherent calling to seek, push, transcend. It's a necessity of the human spirit that inspired our own evolution. Because if your quest is to build the world's smartest luxury SUV for mankind, you must hold yourself to the standard of mankind.
Blackheads. So not attractive. And so hard to get rid of. Wish you could make those stubborn blackheads disappear? Now you can, with the brand new Blackhead Dissolving Gel from Proactive. And the best news of all, it's free when you order Proactive in the next 10 minutes.
I'm in love with the Blackhead Dissolving Gel. It took a week and I could already just tell my blackheads were diminishing.
Unlike scrubs that only treat the surface of your skin,